We are back after a multitude of technical difficulties. A multitude of technical difficulties. So, regardless, we move past them. Let's begin. If you're new here, we talk about sports and philosophy and all these introspective topics that help you develop your character. All right, 1 second. I'll pause this. No, I won't. Um, Today we're gonna talk about a topic that is very important, regardless of the struggles. We're smashing the struggles. Look, I'll be holding my mic like that. You know why? Because I started playing the episode. One, I wasn't connected to internet, and two, then my mic was dying, which is brilliant. Regardless, we're gonna talk about vulnerability today. This is the topic that I already kind of started, but then now I have to restart. It is what it is. I'm almost sweating from passion. Not really from passion. It's just hot. But we can have a go. We need to discuss this because if you think about it, some people could accuse me of being not the most vulnerable. I will pause this now. Also, I usually take about 5-10 minutes to get going, to start cooking. Okay, so if you're watching this after the stream has ended, then you can check the timestamps, which I will hopefully have by now, and just click whatever you think will be interesting. So now give me a second because I have to reply to a message. All right, we're back and we're ready to go. Before we enter this extremely important topic of discussion, yeah, let me just shift my laptop because I'm charging my mic from my laptop. And I guess I need to keep this close to my mouth. I need to kind of somehow maintain a constant distance between my mouth and the mic. Let me just enjoy this sip of cold Red Bull on this nice, warm, almost summer's evening. Before we continue our conversation, now we got our listener back. Let me know if my mic is working properly and if you can hear me well, because the technical struggles don't stop. My battery died. I'm going to be holding it like this for a while. My Wi-Fi wasn't on. We had to check this, but we're back and we're ready to go. So let me know if you can hear properly, and we can move on. Mike, okay. You how you spell Mike is M-I-C. You said you spell you. You said Mike. Who is Mike? Who is Mike? Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on with the question in hand. By the way, I received the question. Goshko, you can ask your question again, mate. It was something about zombie apocalypse, but I couldn't read it. It was my friend Mike. If there is a zombie apocalypse, which 5 items and 3 people do you need to survive? Oh, Jesus Christ, zombie apocalypse. And I need 5 items. Okay, I just before I give a reasonable answer, do these items do they have to exist? Can I not just get the infinity stones and you know snap them out of existence? Am I allowed, or do I need to use only items that actually exist? So only items that exist. 5 items. Bradway is an axe, mate. Axe. All right. So 5 items. If let's start with the people. I need 3 people. I need someone. I'm a bit of everything. Okay. We go. I'm a bit of everything already. I will need I'll need a couple of Navy SEALs. Definitely. I'm picking David Goggins, 1,000,000%. I need David Goggins. If I want to be in a zombie apocalypse, I want David Goggins. And ooh, I want Jocko as well, Jocko Willing. And I need one more person. So now, if it's only if um if we're the last 3 or 4 people on this planet, I'll pick a woman to be the third. If not, I will pick someone smart, which obviously that sounded not not the best, but I'll pick. Okay, if the the fate of the human race doesn't depend on it, meaning there are other women on the planet, I won't pick a woman. I'll pick. So I have David Goggins, I have Jocko Willing, and I need someone else. I need either someone funny or someone very smart. So if who do I want? I have all these thinkers behind me. I want I want Chris Eubank Jr. So he can, yeah, I'll take him. He's a bit of both. He's smart, a bit of fun. So now the items. What items do I need to find zombies? I need I need to keep my distance. I need to keep my range. So I'd want to have what would be good? Maybe chains. Like Ghost Rider. He's got his chains, or a whip. That would be very useful, especially against zombies. I whip one zombie is done. The zombie is done, mate. With a proper whip, whoosh, with a nice snap. I need a whip, definitely. A hammer, but one of these long hammers that you use for demolition jobs. Not like a massive, like big long hammer. I need a hammer, and I need I need a phone, obviously, because I need my phone now, maybe to do a podcast, um, or to call someone and ask something. I need a whip, a hammer, my phone. Potentially, I would go for a gun, and by gun I mean maybe like a AK-47. And last but not least, who do you call when every network is down? What these scenarios, mate? I didn't know that every network is down. That changes everything now. So okay, I still need my phone because I have books on my phone. Oh, I need. Okay, my fifth item is Red Bull. I need supply, a very large supply of Red Bull, and I'm set. So I have David Goggins, me, Chris Eubank. I have Red Bull. I have a whip. my phone, okay, so I can video everything, film, and just use my phone. My phone is important. Um, Hammer, whip, phone, Red Bull, and obviously, and some sort of a firearm, so a gun, an AK-47. That's it. We'll be okay. Food, we're gonna. Food is easy to find. You don't even need any items. But Red Bull is not. Red Bull probably there wouldn't be a lot of Red Bull left anywhere. So I want a Red Bull. Not one, as many as I can get, obviously. But this is my answer to the question. Fire? I don't need fire. I have I said a firearm, which means basically a gun. Firearms. Yeah. Yeah. No fire. I don't need fire. But I need something to shoot. But then, hey, imagine the whip. Guarantee these whips. I've watched videos. These whips they can hurt people. I guarantee I can decapitate a zombie with a whiplash. Is it a whiplash? Yeah, it is. That's the word. But yeah, unfortunately, we're not gonna get any zombie apocalypse. And but my strategy is great because Joko is gonna help us figure out what we're gonna do, and then both, no, all three of us, all four of us, we're all fit, tough, durable, and we're just gonna get on with whatever needs to be done, and we'll be okay and safe. There's always gonna be someone watching, someone is always gonna be awake. Okay, we're gonna take turns sleeping here and there. Joko and David Goggins have obviously war experience, so they know what's happening. So we're gonna be tactically sound. We're gonna have a variety of characters. We're gonna get along because there's gonna be no complaining, no bitching and moaning. Just, yeah, probably a bit of dark humor and hard work. Now I'm excited about it, and now I'm gonna end this topic, and I'm gonna be disappointed that this is not gonna happen. I just got excited about this. Ah, but we can move on now with this podcast until we get anything else. We go back to we shift gears. As I've said, we have to shift gears. Not have to, but we do anyway. If you need to train for a decathlon to win, how are you gonna do it? Do you think you're tough enough for this for a decathlon? Yeah, of course. How am I gonna do it? What are the events? Let's just check what are the events in a decathlon. Let me check. Disciplines. Okay, let's see. Day one. Okay, it's a 2 day event. That's actually an interesting question, and we don't talk enough about sports here, although it's a sports and everything else podcast. So the decathlon, 10 track and field events. Day one, 100-meter sprint. long jump, shot put, high jump, 400-meter run. Day 2, 110-meter hurdles, discus throw, pole vault, javelin throw, and 1500-meter run. Ooh. Okay, so if we okay, now that we know the disciplines, by me looking at them, there is no endurance disciplines actually. The most um the one that requires the most amount of endurance is the 1500-meter run. So that's 1.5 kilometers. So that's about not even five. That's 4 minutes of running at worst. Okay. So how do you based on with points? All right, that's actually quite easy. I'm seeing my tactics. I'll probably ignore. I'm not really gonna work as hard for this event, for the last one, for the 1500-meter run, because it uses a different energy system. All the rest are basically pretty much apart from the 400. Yeah, everything else apart from the 400 meters is anaerobic. Okay, anaerobic. You're using your anaerobic energy system, which is the one that does not use oxygen and is used for short bursts of uh, of exertion. Okay, so power basically. So I'm gonna train for power. I'm gonna sprinkle in a bit of endurance, but 100-meter sprint. Okay, power, long jump, power, shot put, power, high jump, power. Obviously, you need some athleticism. You need some coordination, but let's say that's a given. Let's say if I had to train now, from tomorrow, the first thing I'm doing tomorrow, if I need to start training tomorrow for a decathlon, for whoever joined just now, the question was, how would I train for a decathlon? Decathlon is a 2-day event that consists of 10 disciplines, okay, in track and field. 100 meters dash, long jump, shot put, high jump, 400 meters run, 110-meter hurdles, discus throw, pole vault, javelin throw, 1500-meter run. Okay, so my tactics. Um, if I need to start running, if I need to start training tomorrow, the first thing I'm training, okay, my first workout tomorrow is sprints. Okay, because sprinting, um, me getting better at my sprinting is gonna impact positively all the other events, all the other disciplines that I'm gonna be doing. All right. I'll and then I'll start adding weight workouts. Okay. So if let's say I really need quickly, I need to schedule a workout for myself, like a workout schedule, a program. My training program would be week 1, just do probably just test myself, every single one of them. Sprint, jump, shot put, high jump. In 2 days, test everything. Okay, just have a go. In on day 3, I'm gonna be sore as anything. Probably rest. Day 3 should be rest recovery. Day 4, okay, I have to make sure that my technique is good. Okay, so day 4, I'll probably have 2 workouts. Okay, day 4 in the morning, I'll have a nice. I'll go to the gym, and I'll do some explosive workout. Probably all these Olympic lifts, snatch, clean, all that type of stuff. Squats, but only not full squats, maybe like a half squat or to a seated position, and then explode up. Kettlebell swings, all these plyometric slash power based um, exercises. because I'm gonna need them. Okay, and then hopefully, do I have access to coaches? I hope so. If not, I'll have to coach myself. So that's my first workout is gonna be in the gym. That's on day 4, and then day 4 afternoon, I'm starting to work on my technique. Okay, I need to put a lot. It's like long jump. You have to dial down your technique. Even in sprinting, there is technique. Okay. Um, how much can I improve my running technique? Depending on how long do I have to prepare for this? Do I have a month or do I have 2 weeks or a year? I need time frame. Give me a time frame, and then I can obviously tell you what I'm gonna do. Because you cannot really, I don't believe you can change your running form in in a short period of time. 6 months. Okay, in 6 months, yeah, I can definitely make a massive improvement in my running technique. Okay, at the very least, I can fix my stride. Okay, I can work on my start. Okay, because obviously it's what is it? What is it in English? Obviously, you start from the blocks. Okay, so you don't start standing. So your start has to, you need to work on your start, on the technique, how quickly you get up. Okay, how quickly you reach your, like, you full um speed, your top speed, stuff like that. On the long jump, I need to work on my run up. Okay, I need to work out how many steps am I going to be taking, not steps but strides, before I take off. When I take off, can I bring my arms, around, up and over and in front of me, not to lose any momentum in the air, stuff like that. Then for the shot put is, again, you need to turn your whole body to generate power to, obviously, to push off properly the shot. Technique. If you don't have the technique, you're not going to be able to throw it properly. High jump, technique, a lot of technique there. Most people don't have the ability to bend their backs like that. So technique, and me improving my technique on all these is gonna essentially give me probably more of a. Is gonna improve my performance more than my actual workouts, potentially. Yeah, actually, you know what? Do I? Yeah, I think I'm pretty. In 6 months' time, what physical improvements can you realistically make in 6 months' time? That depends on how fit you are. What is your baseline? For me, I don't know how much of an improvement I can make in 6 months on my on these disciplines. In 6 months' time, I believe you can make massive improvement on your, in terms of like endurance events, but events that are more power based, not so much, especially if you're somewhat fit. But to be fair, when you're fit, it's difficult to make too much progress. So for me personally, I would focus on my technique, because I have to improve my shot put, my long jump, high jump, 100-meter hurdles. I've never done hurdles. Okay, my jump, I can jump nice off of 1 foot, so it will come easy to me. But I've never done hurdles. Throwing a discus, I've never done that as well. Technique, pole vault, that's gonna be the worst. Pole vault, Jesus Christ. Try not to die. Javelin throw, technique, and the 1500-meter run. Yeah. So I really need to work on technique. In 6 months' time, for me personally, I'll probably make bigger improvements from working on my technique, rather than um, focusing on my physical ability and potential. Because realistically, let's say now, right now, I go out and I run 100 meters and I do, let's say, 12 seconds flat. In 6 months' time, how much can I drop that? I don't even know if I can go down to 11.5, honestly. I'll probably go from 12. If I improve my technique, my start, maybe, but it's almost unrealistic to expect to uh, to lose zero point 0.5 seconds in 6 months off of my 100 meter sprint. 'Cause you don't get fast. You're born quick. Okay, this is genetics, 99%. If me and Usain Bolt, if Usain Bolt was never a sprinter, okay, and I trained with the best trainers for my whole life, sprinting, elite level training, and we race to tomorrow, for example, both in our primes, he's still gonna absolutely destroy me. Okay, because his genetic makeup is uh, is better suited for sprinting. He's got his the makeup of his muscles is predominant is much he's got much higher percentage fast twitch muscles than me. Okay, it's also important how your muscles are attached to your bones. Okay, some people get more leverage depending on where the muscle is attached to the bone. Okay, so the contraction of your muscle, because of where it is attached on the bone, pulls it more. Does that make sense? Let's say if your muscle is attached here and you pull, it's gonna pull less than if the muscle is attached here. Now when I pull, you get more of a bigger movement with the same amount of pull, pretty much. Hopefully I didn't mess up something from physics, but what I'm saying is true. Now maybe the example wasn't the best example, but essentially that's just a fact. Okay, so his genetic makeup is so far superior in terms of sprinting to mine that it will be difficult to beat. Now if we go, me and Usain Bolt race in a marathon tomorrow, I'll probably beat him. Okay, your muscle fibers can be trained to be fast or slow. Yeah, they can. Your muscle fibers can you can change them to a certain extent. Okay, there is um not flexibility, but um there is adaptation. Not everything is genetic, but essentially the more a sport is based on power, the more genetics play a role into it. Okay, so in a sport like sprinting, where it's all about bone structure, where your muscles are attached to your bones, what amount of muscle fibers, like what percentage of muscle fibers are fast compared to slow. Okay, that is as I said, you're born fast. You don't become fast. You can only get faster by a little bit, but you cannot be born. And let's say I cannot run a 12-second 100-meter now, and then let's say, oh, I'll train my whole life with the best. I'll train from the age of 6 to the age of 29, every single day with the best trainers, best. I'll have the best recovery, best everything. I'm still not going to be able to beat Usain Bolt because of the genetic makeup. It's not in my genetic makeup to run a sub 10-second 100-meter. Okay, although if it was like I'm one that I don't lack self confidence. I would like to believe, me personally, that I would be able to beat Usain Bolt if I did apply myself my whole life. But the science says otherwise, so I can't really disagree with the current findings of science. So yeah, That's why all these sports, they're mostly about talent. Like Carlos Nasa, he lifts weights. Um, he's breaking records every time. It's not because he works so much harder than everyone. No, he just has the genetics. Does he work hard? Yes. But is he genetically superior to all these other guys? Yes. He's just one in a billion genetic makeup to be able to move all these weights. Or he's on steroids. But that's unlikely. I hope they get tested. So, yeah, it's just one in a million genetic makeup. It is what it is. Obviously, that's why um, I'm not discrediting all these people that obviously participate in these sports. It still requires like unimaginable amounts of hard work, but skill plays a much lesser role when you compare this to a sport like basketball to a certain extent, football to a bigger extent, um, MMA to an even larger extent, probably MMA more than anything else. All these physical attributes start, they count less and less. The more ways you have, the more ways you have to victory, so the more paths that you can take to victory, the less your genetic makeup matters. Okay? You have top players like football players that are slow, that are fast, that are skinny, that are not so skinny, tall, short, it doesn't matter. But you don't have skinny sprinters, you know? They all look like bodybuilders. And also, on the other hand, you don't have muscular marathon runners. You don't have short NBA players, you know? So these things play too much of an advantage. Like give you too much of an advantage. Like in basketball, not so much. You still like tall. Being tall is an advantage, but in regards to running is all about what is your potential, what is your potential ceiling, and it is very evident when your ceiling is really high. You will show from when you were really young. So yeah, that's why I like sports that are more based on skill. And if you look at like MMA, mixed martial arts and fighting, you get even people that are fat, that are skinny, tall, short, all sorts of backgrounds, all sorts of body types, all sorts of personalities, just all sorts of everything. Because you have so many different ways to win that it's all about your skill and how you apply your skill and being smart, picking the right tactics, using the correct techniques when the time requires it. In sprinting, there is no such thing. I can't. There is only one way for me to win: to run quicker than everyone else in the 10 seconds that we're running. That's it. Technical aspects of sprinting that you need to think about: how do I get off of the blocks? How do I develop my running? Let's say from the meter 30 to meter 60, and then uh, last part of the race, 60 to 100, like reaching peak, like top speed, and yeah, and maintaining it or whatever. Only three in MMA. If I start naming like technical aspects of MMA, we're gonna be here for at least a year. If I start saying technical aspects of football, we're gonna be here for a year. So yeah, this is what it is. That's why in cycling, Armstrong was what? He used to change his blood with the blood that was, which is the best city in the world to get drunk. Oh, I don't know. Me personally, I'm not a drinker. I don't drink anymore. I only drink maybe 3 or 4 times a year nowadays. I'm old. Um, I haven't had any alcohol in since January 1st now. Can you imagine? It's May the 17th. The best is to get drunk. For me personally, is Teteven, my hometown. There is nothing like getting drunk in my hometown. This is the best, best experience ever for me personally, or at least it used to be. Nowadays, it's a bit questionable because things have gotten worse. It's not as safe as it used to be. People are not as nice and welcoming. People want to cause trouble for some reason. Maybe they're insecure or they're unhappy with their lives and they want to cause pain and suffering. You know why? Because they're weak. Because they don't have the strength of character to deal with whatever they're going through. Or they're just dumb. Yeah, Teteven. Teteven is the best. Teteven is the best place on the planet. There is no place like Teteven. Yeah, nowhere. Nothing. I was actually, because I had this topic prepared kind of in my head about vulnerability today. And I was gonna say, I really, I don't, for me personally, okay, for the things that I'm doing for myself, I, I just want to say this before everything happens, obviously. I want to say this before everything else happens, so I know I've said it early. If it was up to me, just personally, just following my personal needs, I wouldn't be out here doing what I'm doing. I would have been just as happy and content and whatever to go back home and live a very peaceful and quiet life. I can coach, do everything I need to do at my home in my hometown. I don't really need money. I don't need I don't need anything. So that being said, why am I out here then? Why don't I just go back to my hometown? Just back home, go and live a peaceful life. Everything I want to do I can do there. And I'm gonna be with my family, you know? And I can, if I wanna coach, I can coach young boys there. As I said, I'll just grow some vegetables, have a garden and just live like almost like a monk. Live in peace, a beautiful life. Now, that being said, the only reason why I'm out here, why I'm doing what I'm doing, why I'm putting myself through all the things that I put myself through, why I'm away from my family, and why I'm gonna achieve everything that I'm gonna achieve. I only do this not because of some, very uh, virtuous ambition, that is gonna do something big for me or whatever. I don't really care. I don't need to prove anything to myself or to anyone else. I don't have that need because I know, like, no, I don't need to prove anything to myself. I know who I am. I know what I'm about. Nothing to prove. And I want nothing. So I repeat myself a couple of times, it's fine. The only reason why I'm doing what I'm doing and everything that I'm gonna achieve ever is just to show all the people in the world, no, not even in the world, all the people that ever doubted me or said something bad to me or about me, just to rub it in their face, just to show them, hey, listen, you shouldn't have done that. Did you see how badly this backfired? And I'll rub it in their faces. This is literally, I'm as honest as I've ever been on this podcast. This is literally the only reason that I'm out here and that I'm gonna achieve everything that I'm gonna achieve because I don't need all these things. Honestly, I do not. I'm Zen enough. You see, I have the Buddha. I've read all the Zen texts. I've read at least 5 Zen books. I'm as Zen as anyone can be, if I want to be. I can detach from my ego and whatever at will, just like that. Boom. I need to open a book for 10 minutes and just get into it. And I'm gone. But the only reason why I'm here is because I have this chip on my shoulder. Because I have this a little bit of nasty in me. And I'm a petty person. that this sounds contradicting, maybe yes, maybe a bit ridiculous. But it's just the honesty. Because this is what I was gonna talk about today. I was gonna talk about vulnerability, honesty. And now I'm just being honest. Because why am I not back home living a peaceful life? Why am I going out the way to achieve out of my way to achieve things? I'm putting myself through struggle. I'm living a life that most people wouldn't want to live because it's difficult, it's very monotonous, requires a lot of sacrifice. And on top of that, on top of all that, the weirdest thing is I don't get like almost any joy from achieving things like personally. I achieve something, I do something nice. It's good, it's cool. It's not bad. Yeah, I can appreciate it. And then I don't know, like 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, I'm like, yeah, nice. What's next now? What's next? And I look for whatever is next. I can't. It doesn't fulfill me that much. It's nice. So essentially, all I'm doing is I'm gonna achieve all the things that I want to achieve. Not for me, really. I don't need anything. Me personally, I really don't. I'm just gonna achieve this to rub it in all the people that were against me. And maybe there was no one against me. I'm just making up stories in my head, but that's how my brain works. And I'm making all these stories, and they're lighting a fire in me, and that keeps pushing me every day. Maybe all these people, they never even. I literally remember things that were said about me or to me when I was like 8. I just made the note. It doesn't keep me up at night. But when I wake up, I can just, if I sometimes, let's say, I'm lacking motivation or energy, I can just think about it and pull some memory out of my head and say, okay, oh yeah, you definitely, you don't know who you're talking to, and just pull out the most, you could say, toxic thing or whatever. I don't care what you say, to be honest. I can just pull it out and immediately I'm recharged. It's like I've drank 10 Red Bulls. I'm ready to go. I didn't want to work out. Or that, yeah. I remember now when this guy, yeah, when I was 7, said that I'm not the best football player. And I'm thinking, Who was he? Who did he think he was talking to? I was clearly, evidently the best. You know, it's weird, but that's how it works. So essentially, all I'm doing it for others. Whether it's to rub it in people's faces, that's one aspect. The other aspect is I just want to leave things better than how I found them. I want to have a positive impact in the world. When was the time you were most vulnerable in your life? Ah, okay. This is a question that is actually related to my original topic. I hope my MIC, is the sound is consistent. But let me just answer first because that was my original topic anyway. Vulnerability. What is being vulnerable? Let's just address this first. Being vulnerable is, to put like common sense, to put shortly, is to share. I'm sharing things. Like for example, maybe you could say that I was just vulnerable. Being vulnerable is sharing weaknesses, sharing your pain, what hurts you, sharing your flaws. Okay, being honest, doing it. Uh, at the bottom of vulnerability is the root or the goal of being vulnerable is connection, isn't it? Um, why am I sharing these things to another person? We're trying to establish some sort of connection. Maybe it's relatable, or yeah, we end up feeling closer. That's the For the most part, this is the essence of being vulnerable. This is the reason to do it, and maybe it feels better when you do it. I think I remember it. It does. You get things off your chest, kind of. When I was at my most vulnerable, I think it was probably after one of my breakups. Okay, was I though? Was it then? When was it when I was sharing the most weaknesses, flaws? It was probably then. After one of my breakups, I drowned myself in alcohol. Oh, how beautiful it sounds to say. All these kind of gray memories, kind of a bit sad or whatever you want to call them. When I remember them so fondly, as if the best thing ever happened. When it was like the worst thing. But when you look at the bad times from a good spot, it's so beautiful. It's so it brings you so much joy and pleasure. Like me remembering in what shitty situation I was, or a place mentally or financially or whatever, me remembering it just gives you so much pleasure. So I was almost drowning myself in alcohol. I was drowning my sorrows. I was indulging in my vulnerability. Anyone that would listen, I would tell him, hey, this happened. It wasn't fair. Why?